Welcome to a video from thedigital.com. On this video we're going to have a quick look at this Acer Swift 1. The 8 from Acer. This is a budget machine, sort of aimed, family machine, something the whole family can use. It's got a Intel Pentium processor on it. It's around 280 quid, something like that, up to £300. So it's kind of a mid-range budget machine. So it's kind of a budget machine, but with a nice big 14-inch screen on there as well, and some nice design touches on it as well. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to try a couple of apps on it and have a look at what it feels like to type on, use keyboard and mouse and some of the ports on it. So first, let's have a look at the design. It's quite a thin device. It's got a plastic sort of brushed feel to it. It's got a bit of a pattern. I don't know if the camera can really pick that up yet. I think it can. You can see that. We've got a full-size HDMI port, USB 3 port, headphone, and a full-size SD card reader on there. So quite good for ports. And we've got a single USB 2 port on the side, and that's it for the ports on there. So it's got a 14-inch display. It's not touch or anything like that. It is, I should say, isn't over glossy or shiny or anything like that. Some of the touchscreens do tend to be a bit glossy, but this isn't. It's not too reflective, and it's quite a nice bright screen actually. It colours a little bit washed out, I guess. It's not. Yeah, you can see the black's not ultimately that black, but it's still quite a nice screen on there. The screen resolution is 1366 by 768, so it's not a particularly high res screen, like 4K or anything that you get on the really expensive devices. It's fairly low res, but depends what you're doing. If you're doing a bit of web browsing on it, that kind of thing, a bit of email, maybe Office as well, it's it's fine. It's perfectly fine for that. In terms of specs, like I say, it's got a Intel Pentium N3710 processor at 1.6 gigahertz. So it's not a high-end, heavy processing machine. It's not a gaming machine, but like I said, what it is good for is browsing, that kind of things, and the processor is okay for that. Hard drive is a 128 gig SSD drive on there, which actually makes it feel quite quick for multitasking, loading apps, switching between apps, that kind of thing, because there's not the lag while a spinning hard drive has to fire up and it has to index through the files and everything. So I think that actually makes it feel quite fast, even though it's got a lower spec processor on there. What about the keyboard and trackpad? Well, it's got a good keyboard on it actually. You notice the whole thing doesn't move that much when I press down on it. Some of the cheaper ones that I've used, the budget laptops, have really squashed down, and this doesn't do that at all. So actually I quite like the keyboard. I had no problem typing on that. There's no number pad or anything like that. The enter keys are a little bit on the squash side, but I think I could probably get used to that. Trackpad. The trackpad is a Synaptics, not a Precision Touch. I do prefer the Precision Touch ones. So there are a couple of gestures it does, but you haven't got the full multi-touch gestures like you do. There you go, task switching on there. I do just prefer the Precision ones, but it does seem to support, like that's opening and closing apps with multi-touch gestures, and task switching from the side. So not too bad actually. I actually quite like the keyboard and the trackpad on there, nice and clear. What about apps, pre-installed apps on there? Well, it's actually still downloading some from the store. It's doing an update on them. There's not too much stuff on there. You see there's eBay shortcuts, Acer's own software for cloud sharing, stuff that I don't really use. Booking.com has got a shortcut. Some of these apps like Pixar, Photo Studio, you can uninstall through the App Store, so it's not really that onerous to remove some of these as it used to be with Windows 7 when they're pre-installed. It has got McAfee installed on there, and I would get rid of that first and let Windows Defender go on there. And it is shifting, and it is shipping with the old 15.11 version of Windows 10. But since I fired this up and put it on the network, it is trying to download the update. So they will probably get. Well, we've got the anniversary update, and it's possible to get it could get the creators update once it's finished doing all the updates on there. Now, what's really good on this is the battery life. Look at that there, 8 hours 18 minutes remaining, 98%. and that's pretty reasonable. I've found that has been the case as I've been playing with it these last couple of days, this device. That Pentium processor, like I said earlier on, isn't the most powerful processor, therefore it's not taking a lot of battery, and you're getting good battery life on this. So that's even while we've been playing around with it and I've been doing some tests on it. So I think battery performance is going to be good. So if this is your kind of device that you want to sit on the sofa, do a bit of browsing, maybe the whole family use it, do a bit of email and so on, this is a nice device for that. The SSD drive means it's nice and quick switching between apps. You can see that there's no problems with that. If we quickly have a look at Task Manager, we can have a quick look at how it's performing. We can see there it's got 4GB RAM, which is using, and there's a bit of disk activity, but as it's using a faster SSD drive, that disk activity isn't too bad on there. So it's a nice all-round Windows 10 machine, good sort of machine for the family. Nothing too high spec. You're not going to be doing any powerful gaming on it there. It will run Minecraft and other Windows 10 games. Good for browsing, good for email, a bit sofa surfing on there. I wouldn't use it for video editing or heavy processing. You could certainly run Office on there, no problem. And I think it has got the Office mobile apps installed. Actually, this is the full version of Office is installed here, and you can sign in with Office 365 if you've got that and activate it. So a nice, good value machine, under £300, excellent battery life, decent screen and keyboard, probably let down by the low res of the screen, but apart from that, a nice little all-rounder, good value for money. Thanks for watching this video. You can see more videos on our YouTube channel. We've got other Acer devices and from other manufacturers, and more on thedigital lifestyle.com.